A Doctor Doom standalone movie. Rumors that Fox is having Seth Grahame-Smith, of all people, develop a Franklin Richards movie. My initial reaction to all this is that when it comes to the Fantastic Four, Fox, go home, you're drunk. I love Noah Hawley's work, who's supposed to be doing this Doctor Doom movie. He was like, they changed the Fox panel to a Kingsman panel, so I'm going to drop this at the end of the Legion panel later in the day to get people to talk about that panel, because that was the only big reveal they had, something else. And while I do love his work quite a bit, he's not exactly a ratings magnet. In fact, Legion halved its viewership by the end of the season. Half the number of people watched the finale as watched the season premiere. And his awards ratio even is just okay. I mean, he's on the board, and they take home a win or two, but it's not the level of some other shows. Basically, nothing screams, give this man a movie deal. Fox sure likes him, though, and he's done wonderful things for FX, so I certainly don't blame them. But as I've let this news marinate all day, because other stuff kept coming up for me to cover first, several things have dawned on me, and I feel a little better about it, although there are an awful lot of ifs involved. But the first thing I want to say is that my favorite part of the last Fantastic Four, and I told you, I think Fox ruined that movie. I thought that Josh Trank had a vision that I was kind of interested in, and I think it reached its pinnacle during Doctor Doom's escape experience. It played like a theme park ride. They had like the lights come on in the facility and an announcer, like that cool female detached voice they always have in sci-fi being like, please go to the nearest, like, don't panic, please go to the nearest exit. And you're like, this is so great. And then he had these amazing powers. It was a really good sequence. And then the whole movie just went downhill from there. It was like really frustrating. But anyway, that focused on Doom. So I could see a Fox executive going like this. Can we make this into a movie? And I do think this fits with Fox's new, darker, out-of-the-box approach to the Marvel characters they have left, right? And I think also they're holding the line clearly on Fantastic Four. They had those 4 cloaked figures at D23 for Marvel, and people, they turned out to be the Black Order, but a number of you were like, Fantastic Four? Fox has a death grip on this. I think it's also like a matter of pride at this point. It's one thing to sell back the Marvel Knights characters, which Marvel did a great job with over on Netflix, repackaging them. Fox, that probably added insult to injury, and Fox is like, we're not having that happen again. And they fixed X-Men, I think to some degree with Logan, and they did a great job with Deadpool, and they have this New Mutants movie coming up, which is going to be horror style, in a similar vein perhaps to that Doctor Doom escape. So this could fit. When I first heard it, I thought it would be Loki Light meets the Man in the Iron Mask, but I can see now maybe it not being that. By the way, he's not going to wear the mask, right? I'm sure some of you are like, he has to wear the mask, Grace. What is this, like Dr. Fate all over again? No actor, except for Tom Hardy, and he's very busy right now putting on a Venom mask, wants to go walk around a whole movie with their face covered. It's just, and Dan Stevens, we're going to get to him in a moment. He's rumored to be involved, maybe as Doctor Doom, but he's already done that with the Beast. I just think you're going to have a really hard time getting the caliber actor you want if you can't see said actor. So I don't think they should do it. Even in the comics right now, Doom, his face is fixed, and I actually enjoy the comic. It's actually not going fast enough pace-wise for me, so I've kind of dropped it a little bit. But I enjoyed the first couple of issues until the pacing issue reared its ugly head. But speaking of Dan Stevens, he does not have an ugly head, which is getting him a fan base finally. I hope, he lost a ton of weight after Downton Abbey. First he lost too much weight, and then he kind of balanced out. And he finally seems to have a pretty solid career developing. And he's great on Legion. If you've watched Legion, you know how good his evil god is, right? He gives good evil god. So that's basically what Doctor Doom is. Doctor Doom is basically the smartest guy in the room who's really good at tech. He's like Iron Man, which is why he's now like an evil version of, he says he's not evil, but he's like an anti-hero Iron Man right now in the comics. But he's like Tony Stark mixed with Doctor Strange, with magic, right? Which I think is pretty interesting. And that's kind of close to what David Haller is on Legion. So Dan Stevens has already proven he can do this. So if they could just take his Legion character and give him even a small movie budget, I'd be excited. Dan Stevens is really good when he's being evil. His glare is just, him as Doctor Doom, Victor Von Doom with that glare, I'd be so excited. And then come to think of it, the whole ruler of Latveria angle and the magic angle, this could be Doctor Strange meets Black Panther, wait for it, meets Frank Underwood. That sells it, right? Now you're starting to really come on board. And Noah Hawley and Dan Stevens can actually deliver this. Plus, to give Marvel a master manipulator like Frank Underwood would add a nice, darker tone to the MCU that it's been missing. Really what you could have here with Noah Hawley and Dan Stevens and the character of Doctor Doom is like an adult superhero movie, right? Like Fargo, Legion, House of Cards, even Breaking Bad. And I think that's actually, come to think of it, what Fox has been doing so successfully, taking other kinds of ideas for entertainment and putting a comic book spin on them. So to take that kind of cerebral adult crime show, right, and make it a movie, if they keep the budget small, but not so small that it still doesn't seem like a movie, I think they could have something worth the gamble. Now, this is why I'm starting to get on board. But also, I do wonder how Dan Stevens could be both Legion and Doctor Doom, because isn't this all supposed to be in the same cinematic universe, right? Is Legion then potentially in the Doctor Doom movie? That would seem stupid and wasteful to me of an actor when he so clearly would make such a great Victor Von Doom. So share your thoughts on this down below, both your initial thoughts and now after we've talked about it, have you had a little bit of a change of heart too? And I'll be looking at your comments down below because one of them from a BTC subscriber, you have to be a subscriber to qualify, and make sure you turn off keeping your subscriptions private, because a couple of times now, we've just started this, but a couple of times I've checked someone who I want to make the winner and I can't see your subscriptions on your YouTube channel. But anyway, every day, every weekday for a month through August 18th, I'm picking one of your comments, one BTC subscriber comment, to get a $30 AMC gift card, which is being sponsored, by the way, by Broadband TV. So good luck! I look forward to reading your comments down below, and you can check out some more videos right now.